conspiracy to divide Jerusalem, though, how is that linked with the Antichrist?
It's totally
in your opinion,
it's totally linked because, number one, the Antichrist is going to attempt to unite the world theologically, intellectually, economically, and therefore there has to be some belief system to believe a lie and be deceived. Example, case in point, in Iran now you have a president called Ahmadinejad. And Ahmadinejad believes that he can go to a well and talk to a 12-year-old boy who disappeared in the well, he thinks, and the boy talks back to him.
And you met him, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You did.
And he believes, his spiritual advisor told me that Ahmadinejad is going to be the forerunner of the Mahdi. I asked his spiritual advisor, how soon would this boy be resurrected? He said, within 2 to 3 years. Now, what are we talking about?
Yeah, because let me jump in. Who is the 12th Imam or the Mahdi?
The Mahdi is the 12th descendant of Muhammad.
Right.
And this 12th descendant of Muhammad was 12 years old and disappeared, and they believe, the 12ers in Iran, there's 10 million of them, believe that he is going to be resurrected. Now, here's how. Through an apocalypse. They believe that they're going to usher in an apocalypse, and when the apocalypse takes place, that instantaneously the Mahdi will be resurrected. Now, when he's resurrected, they believe that at that second, all demis or infidels, which are Jews and Christians, will convert to Islam and bow their knees to Muhammad instantaneously. But they've got to have an apocalypse to bring them into this world, and therefore, and then they believe Jesus is going to fight with the Mahdi for 40 years, and that ultimately he'll move to Mecca and he'll be buried and have children. Now, my point is, in light of the Antichrist is going to unite the world in deception. He's going to use theological deception, economic deception, political deception for his apocalypse. And that's precisely what we have right now. We have the winds of the apocalypse blowing.
How common is the belief within Islam of the Mahdi? Is it something that most Muslims believe, or just the radicals?
No, not most Muslims don't believe this. As a matter of fact, I had this discussion with the Prince Khalid, the nephew of the King of Saudi Arabia, when I traveled with him in Dhahran during the Persian Gulf War, and he said, listen, only 10% of the Muslims believe this. And so don't exaggerate, he said. Well, I said, let's see, there's 1,300,000,000 of you. That means 130 million of you believe this? He said, that's about right. I said, that's a problem for me, that 130 million of you want to usher in a person to an apocalypse, and they don't care. They don't care. Iran has said, if 30 to 40 million of us have to die to usher him in, that's a fair exchange if we can kill 2 to 3 million Jews. It's a fair equation. So the calculation and risk isn't the same as...
That is actually being considered by leadership?
Precisely. And I've met with the Atomic Nuclear Energy Association in Israel, with the prime ministers, with the generals, and they told me this is not an exaggeration. They actually believe that they are going to usher in, which is, in our mind, Darth Vader, the dark side, and they're going to usher in this Mahdi, and then they really believe, listen, every time Ahmadinejad spoke at the United Nations, he would always give theological speeches about the Mahdi.
Correct. That is
he wrote a letter to George Bush trying to convert him to the Mahdi, and the Queen of England. He really believes this stuff, and there's 10 million followers that believe it, and he has 62 billion in reserves in the bank.
And Mike, you really believe that Iran, what do you feel they're going to do